I was in a relationship with a guy for about 48 hours, and then I decided to break up with him because he got us tickets to go see a Commanders game. And on the way to the stadium, he turned to me and said, "By the way, this is your Christmas gift."
Seeing a red flag, identifying the red flag, and taking action immediately is the best thing you can ever do to yourself as a grown woman. And I feel like this comes with age as well. That if you're getting older, you get more matured in dating, and you can actually be like, no, this is not for me. I can take this from you. Hey, beautiful people, how are you all doing today? Chuka Mara Davis, and thank you all so much for tuning in another interesting video. So this lady was explaining how she left a 2 weeks relationship. The guy, was not just because I listened to the whole thing. I was like, guy, the guy was not just doing it at all. She figured out the red flag. She sees that this is going to cause issue later on in the future, and she let go. I don't want to tell you all what she said. Let me allow you to watch the video, then I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
I was in a relationship with a guy for about 48 hours, and then I decided to break up with him because he got us tickets to go see a Commanders game. And on the way to the stadium, he turned to me and said, "By the way, this is your Christmas gift." And I don't like sports. So suddenly I felt very conflicting emotions. I felt very grateful and appreciative that he had planned this wonderful date for us, which represented a new experience that I wouldn't have sought out on my own, while simultaneously feeling disappointed that my Christmas gift, the first one I would receive from my new boyfriend, was something that did not reflect any genuine interest that I had. Okay. I looked into my future and I saw myself receiving an egg apron for my birthday when all I wanted to do was go to Greece. Now you might see this and think to yourself, well, Caitlin, he was probably just joking. No, I don't think he was. And here's why I don't think he was joking. On our second date, he turned to me and said, "Hey, let's play a game. I'm going to ask you 4 questions. If you answer all 4 questions correctly, I will take you to a really nice dinner. If you answer any of the questions incorrectly, you have to take me to a really nice dinner." And I said, "Oh, game on." A fun, sexy bet. Okay. The last question was a trick question. I'd been drinking, so I answered it incorrectly. He goes, "Oh, you have to take me to dinner." He then, the next day, books us a dinner reservation at a Michelin star restaurant in DC. I was very excited to go on a date with this guy that I'm smitten with. It was maybe our 3rd or 4th date. We hadn't known each other for very long. I bought a new outfit. I got my hair done. I go over to his apartment. I looked amazing. The whole time I'm thinking, he's not going to make me pay for this date. He booked us the reservation at this nice place. However, he kept emphasizing, "Hey, don't worry. I'm not going to order any drinks at the restaurant because I don't want to rack up the bill." So I kind of began to realize, oh, I'm paying for this. Then when the check did come, I did pay for it. I did drop over $300 on a date with this guy. He was serious. So that leads me to believe that he was serious when he said that that Commanders game, that was my Christmas gift. And it's confusing to be in that situation because the seats he got us at the game were really good. It was a fun day. I was extremely appreciative that he had went through the effort and spent the money to give me that experience, but it painted it in a very different light, finding out that it was my Christmas gift, because it was like, oh, he saw this, thought it would be a cool thing to do, and then tried to figure out how he could justify the expense to himself and said, Christmas gift. That's how. Despite the fact this wouldn't make sense for me as a Christmas gift if it was just a standalone thing. I really liked this guy. I could see myself falling for him. I felt like in some ways we were really developing a strong partnership, but then in other ways, I realized that I was frequently experiencing conflicting emotions. Like, oh, wow, he wants to go with me to a really nice spot for dinner. He's going to make the reservation. He's going to plan the evening, but then I'm going to foot the bill. I'm not against paying for certain things in relationships. But for the first few dates, I kind of expect the guy to pay. To him, my decision to end our relationship probably came out of left field. He probably is chalking that up to the fact that I have a history of demonstrating qualities associated with a disorganized attachment style, and that's true. But actually, my decision is rooted in the fact that he's a 39-year-old man. He's turning 40 in less than 6 months. And I don't know if he was totally capable of imagining or being able to understand what my emotional experience might be unless I was to tell him. Like, for example, when we would walk his dog out of his apartment and go through the stairwell, he would open the door for himself and the dog. I'd be walking behind him and would let the door close in my face. Now, I did flag that for him. I said, hey, I really feel invisible when you do that. That's a really bad feeling. I don't like that. Could you please make sure you hold the door open for me in those moments? And he fixed it. But the number of crucial conversations that I would have to have with someone who I had really only known for about 2.5 weeks, we moved way too quickly, felt disproportionate. It just was like, I don't know if I need this. I don't know if it's worth it for me to go through the effort to explain the nuances of how I could be simultaneously grateful and appreciative while also feeling disappointed. Like, I just don't know if he's the person who is going to be able to receive that. And do I want to even have to vocalize that after 2.5 weeks to someone who's supposed to be courting me? I think that so many women, especially young women, are just desperate for a guy to consistently plan dates with them, that you aren't developing the capability to evaluate the extent to which someone is able to also meet your emotional needs. And the older you get, the less patience you have for someone who, even if you like them and even if you care about them, because you know that the level of effort it would take to get this person to care about you, like, they might not ever be able to get there, and you might as well be alone. Unbeknownst to this guy, my base salary is higher than his. He didn't know this. He's probably going to watch this TikTok, so he will. But he told me his base salary, but he didn't want to know mine. He was very sensitive to the potential for ending up in a relationship where he was the sole provider. And I'm not interested in debating a 50-50 relationship, but I make enough money to the point where I would not expect to get into a relationship with a guy who is and I'm gonna be able to quit my job. Like, I'm too career oriented for that. But his nervousness about the possibility of that happening colored for me a lot of the decisions that he made. And he didn't realize maybe that I am fine financially. I wouldn't be using him for that, but I am evaluating at the same time how generous he is, how willing he would be to be a provider, not just for our future children, which he emphasized, the fact that he wanted to provide for future children, but is he going to be able to provide for the mother of those children? I caution you, if you are a young woman, against dating someone who isn't interested in dating women their own age, because they're probably going to say that it's because those women are in a rush, and probably some of them are. We're all operating sometimes from a place of scarcity and fear, okay? But more often than not, the other reason that a man doesn't want to date a woman his own age is because she might ask more of him. She might have higher expectations about not just his ability to provide in a financial way, but in his ability to provide in an emotional way. And it doesn't just mean like handling someone's insecurities. It also means like being able to consider the fact that it might put someone in a weird position if you tell them on the metro to a football stadium that, hey, by the way, this is your Christmas gift, when you don't know the person that well, but you know them well enough to know that I'm obviously not a sports fan. And I say this about the age gap thing because I did have an age gap with this guy. I'm 32. I just turned 32. He's going to be 40 in the spring. And he said he didn't want to date women around his own age because they were in such a rush to have children, which is kind of ironic because he was really keen to be a father. All in all, I liked this guy. I actually felt at different points in time like I was falling in love with him, but I just don't think he is where a man needs to be for me to remain in a relationship with him, because I didn't really like how I felt all the time. I did share with him a little bit about some of the reasons behind my decision, and I hope he kind of takes it to heart, because I hope that with the next woman he dates, maybe he's able to approach things a little bit differently. It just bums me out because, like, I really liked this guy and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this could really be something real. And he was so proactive about booking these dates with me, but there was just something that I just didn't feel the way I needed to feel, you know? And I felt frequently a lot of inner conflict or tension, and it hadn't been long enough for me to have that discussion with him. You know, I could have probably, but it's like, at what cost?
I say when it comes to I feel like mature, sometimes I see age as not maturity. Some people might be 40 and they're not matured emotionally, right? And while some people are in their 20s and they are already emotionally matured, right? So maturity also comes in things like this, because when you're matured, when you're getting matured as a woman, you'll be able to decide what is right and what is wrong for you. Some people might listen to this and be like, you all just take things too serious. There's nothing that deep. It was like they played a game and it was already right that she has to pay for the meal. So why is she breaking up with him because of that? Some people might say it that way, but me, I actually get where she's coming from, because sometimes these men use game jokes to actually tell you what or how they feel about you. How can you drive her to a game that you enjoy and you are saying that it is a Christmas present? When you want to get somebody a present, it is something that they like. It is something that benefits them alone. It doesn't have to be something you like. So far you care about the person, you think about the person, and you be like, oh, this person is going to like this thing that I'm going to do, then you get it. Okay? It's not because you like it. If you're getting somebody a gift or a present and it is something that you like, then it's not a gift for them. It is a gift for you. You are getting that gift for yourself. You're just tagging it the person's gift, if that makes sense. So if on a normal day, some people will just accept it. At least it is the thought that matters. At least it took you out. And some people start comparing to some other guys that do not take you out or do not even give you Christmas presents at all. They'll be like, oh, but yours even tried, took you somewhere. So you feel like, oh, at least it tried. And that is not it. When it comes to gifts or giving somebody something you want them to appreciate you for, it should be something that they really want, something that they needed at that point, and something that they like. It is not something that you like. If she has always been talking about the sports game, she has always been talking about how she cannot wait to watch it, I cannot wait to go, and you did that and you say it's a Christmas gift, fine. But she doesn't even enjoy it. You're the one that enjoy it. You're doing it for yourself. And I'm so glad that she could pick out those tiny little things. And even when they played a game and he knew that she was going to miss the last one, he'd be like, you're going to pay for the meal. He booked reservation or he checked for restaurants and he got to the restaurant and he was like, paid the bill. I told you you're going to be the one to pay for the next dinner. These things, for me, I just feel like, yes, you can play a game and say something like that, but I feel like a real man will get there and be like, oh, it was just a game, I was just joking, I will pay for it. Even if you still get there and still joke, about it, you guys just met in 2 weeks, if I'm correct, and but the long and short of this is that identifying red flag, acting on it is the best thing you can ever do to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. I feel like once your instinct tells you that this guy is going to be a manipulator, is going to be a very serious liar, just leave. Because if you're kind of ignoring those red flags, later on they're going to come back continue and you'll be like, I already knew is this kind of person. And sometimes it's very difficult for you to just let go at that point. Maybe at that point you're already deep in the relationship or you're already pregnant. Okay, so you might start thinking, do I need to go? Do I have to go? Is the red flag star red or is light red? Can I still manage it? But now is the time, early relationship. If in the early stage of a relationship and the guy is already messing up, it's going to mess up forever. I feel like the early or the beginning of the relationship is the honeymoon phase. They call it honeymoon phase. That is the time that you see the best part of your partner. The beginning of the relationship, they always want to see you. They always want to make you happy. They always want to do what you like. They always want to please you. Right? If at the beginning of the relationship you're already like 1 + 1 = 2, leave. Okay. What is your take on this? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Respectfully, Chogomara Davis, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.